you see the digital adoption in various part of the world, like it's booming up. Like everyone is doing all the transaction through mobile phone. And if you just take a simple stat right now, like the the smartphone penetration in India is about 50% now, which means that 50% audience within Indian ecosystem is still not using the smartphone. The moment these people will have smartphone access, that is a kind of market we are still waiting for, and that goes in Africa, Latin America, everywhere in the world, right? So more the number of devices are going to be smarter, and I think more the amount of transactions going to happen.
Today, I have with me an entrepreneur who has taken not only his company public but built it from complete scratch with $2,000 in his hand. He is Rajdeep, founder of Root Mobile. Root Mobile is a known face in India in cloud, and Root Mobile has gone recently public. Rajdeep is here today to share his journey on what are the nuances that an entrepreneur has to go through on a day-to-day basis. So, Rajdeep, I would like to start a conversation with how did you find out it was the right time for you to take the company public?
Hi Siddharth, and good evening everyone. It's a good question, like Siddharth. For a founder, like if you start building something from scratch, and once you reach to a scale, there are few ways you can actually create value for yourself and your employees. So I think there can be strategic, there can be VC, there can be other way. But I always believe that, like if I want to create a story within India, I want to make sure that Indian startup can also get listed in stock market. And it is not that you always need to be VC funded or a VC backed company to get listed or get that kind of support. If your fundamentals and if your conviction about your products are clear, and you know what you're building which has a value, I think we realized long back, and this is what we are, and I think the kind of potential cloud communication as a platform has is going to create the way people. I think what we always wanted to change the way people communicate. Like how can I add more value to my enterprise customer to have a rich communication media so that they can engage with their end user. And I think we always believe that a platform played a very big role in multiple companies' growth also, whether it's a startup or it's a OTT player or it's a bank. When we realize, I think we are working with almost 30,000 customers globally. We are working with almost 800 operator plus 260 operator as a direct partner. We have a scale. We have a very clear growth plan for next 3 year down the line. What I need to do is like just define my growth strategy for quarter on quarter to year on year basis. And once we are very confident about that this is what we are going to achieve in 1 year down the line, or 2 year down the line, 3 year down the line. So when we laid down our entire plan for future, like, so we realize that the listing is the best way to raise fund, and that can create a value for everyone, and it's a great thing to create value for people and our investor also. And what I really felt good about it, like we never raised fund, till the time we went for IPO. Almost 16, 17 years, we were always cash rich, and we always wanted to create a startup which can get listed anywhere in the world. But I thought because I'm from India, and it's better to list in India, and I want to create a story. 2 3 years back, I think we realized, let's go public, and we started working on that. And that kick is there, saying that yes, we have created something which has been used by global enterprise customer, OTT players, and operators. So they use my platform. So I have everything what some of the large US based listed companies are having as compared to in this same domain. I said if they can do it, why not I? So that's the reason we decided to go public. And I think post listing, I think we got a very good support from our investors, our people, team. Yeah.
So, Radip, for our listeners, if you can share, what Root Mobile is, how does it help enterprise customers, and the current scale of Root Mobile?
Yeah, I think it's a good question. Probably So if you talk about Root Mobile, we are a cloud communication platform provider. We are a platform company. So if you talk about a single, if you just withdraw, say, money from your bank account via ATM, the moment you withdraw, say, 10,000 rupees from your bank account, you will get one SMS saying that you have withdrawn 10,000 rupees. If you're logging on a particular website, you need OTP. That OTP also flows through our platform. The moment the OTP is generated or you withdraw money, you also get an email saying that as a fallback, So that email is also part of our CPaaS platform. At the same time, there are various other use cases like if your flight is delayed by 1 hour, you get a voice call saying that your flight has been delayed by 1 hour, and the next time for this particular flight is XYZ. That's my voice API we use. Recently, we launched the WhatsApp and the RCS API along with and the Viber API as well. Now you get lots of QR code on your WhatsApp. So we partner with WhatsApp to make sure we start building API solutions over WhatsApp API, and we can start selling those API to enterprise customers. So your movie ticket or your QR code or your entire boarding pass come as a image on your phone via WhatsApp. So that API is also part of our offering. Recently, we have RCS as a solution, which is again same like a two-way communication platform. See, we RCS and IP messaging is more about communicating with end user to create a two-way communication journey for an end user. Like when you say SMS, it's just like impression. The moment you talk about RCS, it's conversation. So that's the whole platform. So any point of time, an enterprise, if enterprise is looking out to have a better way to communicate with their end user, they use our platform. Whether it's email, SMS, voice, RCS, WhatsApp, Viber, you name it, or Facebook Messenger. You talk about Telegram APIs. So we are a platform company which has all the channel of communication available within our platform. It's up to the enterprise customer to select which way they want to communicate with their end user to have a better user engagement. And that's what we provide. We provide a platform to enterprise so that they can create a better user engagement with their end user.
And if you can take us through the last 4 or 5 years of the journey, how has Route Mobile first grown in number of enterprise customers in India and outside India? And second part, how has the revenue grown?
Yeah. So that if you see our revenues, all I think we're showing a growth over 30% year-on-year basis from last 5 years. In fact, and from last 5 years, I think we have started focusing more on the enterprise side of the business, and we always wanted to create a sustainable business model where the customer are going to be with the company for longer period of time, and that's the reason we started focusing more on a what do you call enterprise base, operator base, and the OTT players. So once we are very well integrated within the enterprise ecosystem, it's very tough for someone to replace because it's a short code, it's email, there are lots of API integration. So I think last 5 years back, we realized if we really want to scale ourselves to the next level, we were working. We already have offices all across the globe, and we thought working on one side of the business, which is only on messaging, we need to create more product offering to our existing or a new customer. And keeping that in mind, we built this whole stack. And today we have, I think, starting from banking customer to airlines, we name it. Like I think there is not a single vertical who's not using our APIs today because every vertical requires to communicate with their end user, and those they need APIs, which is provided by Root Mobile. And that is the beauty about our platform, where anybody can just connect our platform within 5 minutes and they can start using our APIs.
And what was the total number of enterprise customers which use Route Mobile as of today?
Since its inception, I think we have almost over 30,000 customer, and we have about 2,500 active billable customer every month. So that is the current stats we have.
And the current revenue, uh, uh, what would it be, right? But the company information is public, right? But I just want to take the users through the journey of how it's been growing continuously.
Yeah, if you see our presentation here also, like maximum amount of our revenue comes from the company based out of US, which is about 40% of the revenue. Then we have another market which is Africa, then Asia, then Middle East. Latin we are still building up, but we do have a very good inroads to Latin America market also. So 40% coming from US based customer, then second largest is probably APAC, third largest is Africa, and fourth is Middle East for us.
God. And the current revenues total, I believe they are above the tune of 700 to 800 CR.
No, no, it's a 1400 crore we have achieved last year. So we almost touched $200 million in revenue last
Yes.
financial year. And the last quarter we did about Q1 we did about 380 crore.
And being a public company, so do you have the pressure to grow continuously, right? Because you can't, and the 30% growth, right? You can't now deaccelerate beyond 30%. It can't be 20, 22%. Is there a pressure always on the CEO and the management?
So see, it is up to the founders to think, like so. It is always great to have pressure to perform, right?
Yeah.
And it is not that we are started growing at that rate now, but from last 4 or 5 years, if you see our trajectory, we have always grew by that kind of growth rate. So for us, whatever guidance we are giving to our investor or a public, we know that we have a very clear idea that we will achieve this, and the CPaaS industry itself is accelerating right now. If you see the digital adoption in various part of the world, like it's booming up. Like everyone is doing all the transaction through mobile phone. And if you just take a simple stat right now, like the mobile phone, the smartphone penetration in India is about 50% now, which means that 50% audience within Indian ecosystem is still not using the smartphone. The moment these people will have smartphone access, that is a kind of market we are still waiting for, and that goes in Africa, Latin America, everywhere in the world, right? So more the number of devices are going to be smarter, and I think more the number amount of transactions going to happen. So I think the growth ratio is definitely what we are talking about is achievable, and we have achieved in past, and we have achieved in last year also. I think last financial year, I think we have shown over 40% growth there, in spite of pandemic situation. But the pandemic has helped Root Mobile, company like Root Mobile, where we supported various enterprises to have a better way to communicate with their end user. And that the only way people can communicate is through the digital platform.
This area is very competitive. The segment which you operate in. How have you been able to differentiate yourself and kept the growth rate constant over the last many years?
So it's all about the platform which plays a big role. Like from India, probably there's no company who scaled or evolved at a level with which we are right now. Like there might be Indian competition who are competing with us within India market, who are connected with just four operators. At the same time, we are connected with 800 to 900 operators globally, and we have partnered with over 260 operators globally, which means that we directly sit within their operator network and we are having the direct connectivity. We have built our platform in such a way that we can connect the way operator wants us to connect. So I think we spend lots of time and energy, especially to building up this stack, and that's the reason probably I can always say that I think I'm ready to accept any kind of challenge also, because my platform is far better than anybody else in the current market in India, where it is not about just four operator or five three operator connectivity. My platform, OTT players, they use my platform not for only one country. They use for over 100 country. They use for 40 country, 50 country. So they believe that the kind of platform and connectivity Root Mobile has is totally different than some other players. But there are competition we have in market. Like we compete with Cinch, we compete with Tulio, MessageBird, Infobip. So they also have the same evolved platform like what we have right now, and they have same kind of a international tie-up which we have. But again, if you see on a international market, there are 7 8 companies only.
And can you share about the initial struggles when you started Root Mobile in 2004?
Yeah, I think that is interesting question, and I have gone through all the struggle what every founder is. going through or gone through. So yeah, but again, I can just tell you guys that in 2004 there was no startup ecosystem evolved as what we are having today. During that time, the funding was not available as easy as it is available now. And I think when I actually launched, started coding the entire platform in 2003, I think few years back the entire .com boom was busted. Like people were reluctant to invest in any ideas. But again, maybe it's good for me. But during that time, since you don't have a proper ecosystem for startup community, you don't have a proper fund available to grow your story. But I always believe that what I'm building has a value, and it will actually create some kind of a problem solving state for an enterprise. So I had a conviction about my product, what I'm building will change the way people communicate. And I have always focused on international market than India. India used to be just one paisa SMS during that time. And I said, this is not the market for me at that point of time. We started focusing in India in 2013, where the pricing increased, and we said this is the right time to get into Indian market. But on a struggle wise, yeah, I started building the whole platform with a second-hand PC, like with just 16 MB RAM and I think hardly 100 MB kind of disk space, and with second-hand PC 486. And the only way I can build something on, even if it's just to compile a program, it should take 5 minutes. Forget about the execution. But again, that was a fun during that time. But having that kind of a PC creating problem for you. You go get that PC to your hardware guy to build. You wait for the whole day, come back again, then you start coding for the whole night. So I think I have gone through that phase where I was a account manager, I was accountant, I was CEO, sales guy, support guy. So everything, and it was fun, but it was very very exhausting. And sometimes people say that it looks good now, but if I go back, so it was not that easy. But again, I think almost every founder has that kind of agility, because they are trying to change the way people do stuff, and that is what the founders' conviction is. And so I had the same conviction, and but yes, with a very limited resources as compared to today. And but somehow I always had a belief that I'm going to stick to my basics. I'm going to make sure that whatever I'm building is going to create a value for my customer. And I think that's how the journey started. And not very exciting, but yeah, it's very hard work. But again, we were also very lucky that we got the moment we launched our company in 2004, we started getting customer. So we generated a revenue of 1 crore year one, which is a phenomenal for us to they get a revenue of 1 crore. So I think from 1 crore, once I got that 1 crore revenue with two or three people, I said now it's more about reinvesting money back to the company. So almost 10, 12 years, like I just took 12,000 rupees salary. We never took a we both brother, like, so Sandeep joined Root Mobile in 2005. He was working with PwC as a SAP consultant. He's a chartered accountant. So he used to come every Saturday to make sure our invoices are properly managed, or if money is coming or not. So he used to just work as a part-time accountant for us during the weekends. And after 1 year, when we realized that there is a definitely potential we need more people. So he joined and he started focusing more on the finance and accounting side of the business. I started focusing more on the technology and the sales side of the business, and we started hiring more people. So we had a first office about 10 by 10, where four of us used to sit. And that's only, I think, we were paying a rent of 8,000 rupees. That's amount I could have afford during that time. And we are proud that the team which built the entire story with me in 2004, they're still with me, and they're still having the same belief in my vision. And now we are more than 400 people, and things are operating from 18 countries. You know, Rest is like all everyone knows.
So currently, as you said, the total number of team strength is 200 or 400?
400, more than 400 in
400
R.
people.
So if
That's
that is only for my root mobile. We have another company like call to connect a BPO where we have more than 1,000 people. Then we have a firewall company which is separate 25 people. So I think, but when you talk about the root mobile, so we have about 400 people.
and uh, how much time it took you to reach from 1 CR revenue to 10 CR revenue per year?
So I think I've read at many places, and I think I always believe that for any founder, the first dream should be the $1 million revenue. So rest is forget about it. Like so, I always work that way. Like so, my first idea of achieving is not 100 crore or 200 crore or 500 crore. I always wanted to reach $1 million revenue. During that time the dollar used to be 45 to 46 rupees. Like so. So we thought, okay, 5 crore revenue is what our target is, and I think year 2 we reached to 3.5 crore probably, and year 3 we almost reached hit $1 million.
That
And
must
from
have been a wonderful milestone, and also as a validation as an entrepreneur, that you have been able to scale till this
yeah,
point in time.
yeah, I think when we hit the $1 million, I think that was the biggest achievement I felt. That was the most. I think probably the entire team was so happy that we achieved a milestone for us. Like then people ask me, what is your next milestone? I say, guys, there is a way to say it. Like we have to accept the thing with the way it is coming. Like I can set up a $1 billion mark also, but that is something will take time. Like it is not that we have a genie which we will rub and $100 million will come. And I say, let's focus on work. If we can achieve $1 million, which means that we have something which people can buy, and that is the conviction we all need to have, rather than focusing what we are going to achieve and in what time frame. If we are good at our delivery, if we are good at our vision, and if we are good at our whatever we're building, we will get customer for sure. And I think we've started focusing more on a product, a service, and our operations. So make sure that we deliver things on time, make sure we serve customer on time. So I think those are the few areas. So customer focus is what is a key for us during that time and today also, and the rest we leave it on the market or the time to decide.
And building from India for global at that point of time, were there challenges in building your sales team, reaching out to customers, making customers believe in an Indian company?
True, that's a good question, Siddharth. In fact, like when we started talking with various customer based out of Middle East or UK, so there was always this question, like Indian company. Probably, if, I think Indian means like Wipro, TCS, HCL, like so that's the only company people used to know. Like so, somebody replacing some large company to small company. So there was lots of apprehensions people used to have, and we have gone through that for sure. Like in spite of we had everything what banking customer required or operator required, but as we grow, but what we uh, make sure that we always keep in touch with those kind of customers. As we started growing, as we started onboarding larger customer, we always went back to them. We always build the relationship with them. And I said, guys, this is fine. It's been 3 years. So I was working with Google almost 7 years back, like, and I say, I want to onboard Google as my customer. So it took almost 3.5 years for me to onboard Google as a customer. But we were very, very, like focused. Like this customer has to be part of your company, and so I think uh, every small achievement, like we started sharing with the team. And I'm very thankful the team at Google also. They always used to listen to us. They always used to talk to us regarding anything they were doing. There are a few people we had during that time, but we never lost hope. Okay, if I'm not able to serve this customer now, but probably maybe after 1 year or 2 year down the line, and I always kept my pipeline alive. I said Any customer, if I have communicated in past, that customer has a potential, maybe not today, maybe tomorrow. If there is something which we are missing right now, let's go back and build and prove them that yes, we can. So that's how we started focusing, and yeah, we do had lots of apprehensions from large customers, but as this have seen our growth, when they saw that we are doing really good, and then say, okay, fine, well, let's give a try for a trial. Because onboarding large OTT players, sometimes you need to do lots of due diligences, security checks and all this stuff. So we actually focus on the right area at the right time. And, we got all of them with whom we started the initial conversation, maybe later on, but yes, at the right time, you can say that.
And what were those qualities, if you can reflect, in you as an entrepreneur, that you kept pushing ahead and ahead, right? You never looked back or got satisfied with the growth at any point in time.
So I think the first thing for an entrepreneur is the question is, I think there is a debatable point. Some say never get satisfied, some say always get satisfied what you achieve. And so I always believe that whatever I achieved, I have done good, and that satisfaction I always took along with me to my home and say I'm going to sleep well today because I have achieved something. So I never kept that kind of a goal that I want to do this in this quarter. I want to do that. Like this is what I said. This is what my way of working. If I'm doing the right thing, if I know that this whatever I'm building may have not requirement by that customer today, but maybe tomorrow they may need. Right? So for me, it is very important that be satisfied with what you achieved and always look forward for the new things. Like so, whenever you get up in the morning, we should have something to build, something to do, something to focus on. And so I'm always at even as of today. Also, I'm sitting in this room and talking with you. I think that whatever I have achieved before 6 o'clock or 7 o'clock today, it was phenomenal, and I'm very happy with that.
And if you can share your process of managing yourself and managing business, are there some key aspects of your processes that other entrepreneurs can learn from?
So I think we all know the entrepreneur's life, like is full of sacrifice also. We we cannot just say that I'm successful, that I have not done a sacrifice in my life. Yeah, because I have missed so many my parent teacher meeting of my kids. I have missed so many vacations. I have missed so many things in life because there is two priorities. I know it's a company and the family also, but I always try to balance it. There are various times I think where I miss that, and that's a very common thing. Like it's not that people are trying to do purposely, or they have some kind of dream, or they just want to focus their vision. It happens. If you're in a meeting for a very important meeting, which is a large customer, and at the same time there is another if PTM is happening, you may need to sacrifice. That happens. I can say yes. It is a. I have just calculated the amount of travel I have done in 17 years. Like it's almost 4 years. Of that time, I stayed away from my family. So that is the time. And my kids were very young, and they were just growing up, and then those moments also I missed. But thankfully, because of this pandemic situation, I think the best thing it happens to parents like working parents like me, probably I spend lots of time with them. So yeah, those sacrifices, those time, I always try to manage time. I always try to make sure that I be with them on weekends. I take them out, but again, sometimes you end up working on your weekends also. you know so yeah, but now at least we have so many people, so many a team, so I get enough time at least during the weekends to spend time with my family, my kids. So yeah, I think that they are also happy, they have grown, that they have seen the success. And somehow I think my wife also played a big role in my growth story, because she always knew that whatever I'm building is going to be great, and that's my vision and the passion. So we got a full support from her as a, and wife also plays a big role for any founder's life, to be honest, because you cannot just do things without your better half support, because that is the understanding one needs to.
And can you tell us more about your family, your parents, and your life before Route Mobile, where you grew
So,
up?
so I'm a born and brought up in Mumbai only. So I did my BSc in physics and computer science from National College, Bandra. So I'm a Bandra boy kind of thing. You can say that that's a whole gang we used to have there. Post my graduation, my parents were normal working people. So we didn't have that liberty of having everything as a child. Yeah, but they did their level best to give us a good education, and we're very thankful to them because they always said one thing, like, if you have a good education, guys, you can build everything. What we can give you is today is a good education. That's the only thing we have, and rest is your life to build. And I think, and then my brother, and we are the two brothers of myself and Sandeep. And Sandeep is a chartered accountant and very good in academics, brilliant guy, SAP consultant. I'm more on a tech side of a guy, so I did my BSc physics and computer science. I started working as with the various companies as a software developer. I worked almost 6 or 7 years only, and I said, whatever knowledge I have, I think I can start to make up.
And what mental cushion was there for you that even if you fail, right, it's okay at that point in time?
Yeah, I think day one only when I left my assignment with a few companies in UK, and I came back to India, and I told my family and my wife also, like, so. I told her very clearly, we were just 2 years in our marriage, and I said, listen, give me 1 year time. I told my family also. If I fail, I'm qualified to get a job. So it's not that it is going to impact everything. Like so, but I want to try and fail. Okay, it's better to do now rather than later on, because that's the age I'm in. I started this company when I was 28. You know, and I said I want to try and fail rather than never try, and that is what I told my parents also. It's a 1 year. If I get the success, is fine. If not, then I will start working. So, and I'm very sure that the kind of tech knowledge I had during that time, even today, I will always get a job, and good job. And I was actually working with good companies over there and getting very good salary. So that question was never there in my mind that what next would be. So it was not that I will not get a job or I will not work. But okay, fine. I'm always having that skill, which is going to stay forever.
But was there any time that during your journey of Route Mobile that you thought uh, it's too challenging, or you'll not be able to make it the next day? Was there any such failures during the journey?
So there are various incidents. As it's not that it will be lie from my side if I say that there is no challenge. Right? The breakdown happens. And there can be situation you work very hard with the customer to have a very good impact on your revenue, and you really spend lots of time on that, and all of a sudden this customer says, no, I'm not going to change. So that's a heartbreaking thing, you can say that. Then there's a lots of we were just building our infrastructure. Sometimes the infra within hosting in India, that hosting ecosystem in India was not that great. Sometimes the server going down and it's not working. The banking customer having lots of problem. So all these things I have gone through. Sometimes I say, oh God, what's going on? So that frustration, everything I have gone through.
And if you can reflect back, what were the years that Route Mobile grew, that you think that this when you felt like this will be a billion-dollar company in your journey?
2014, 15, I think 2013, 14. Like, that's what when we started engaging with the large enterprise customer, when we started onboarding, like banks as a customer. So I said the kind of potential the market has, the CPaaS is going to play a big role in everybody's communication life. Like because phones are started getting smarter. Like a phone is just not a feature phone anymore, and people are going to do multiple things with the devices. And uh, I knew that people will start watching cricket match on their own devices, and that is going to happen. And if the data is going to play a big role, if the data company like Geo coming and offering data services with dirt cheap, so that is the time when we realized I think I'm in a very right place. I want to scale to the next level, and I want to focus to acquire more companies to have a product portfolio within Root Mobile. So we acquired the first company, a Malta-based company. Maybe second company. We acquired a small Indian competitor called as Salent, and then later on we acquired a company based out of Malta, which is a specifically firewall company who does lots of who provide lots of insight to operator on their revenue leakages and would clear out mechanism. So I started building stack within Root Mobile. If I don't, I already have a cash. If I can't build, I will buy, so that the entire journey of onboarding a customer for other services, I want to make sure it should be faster than we build. And keeping that in mind, 2018 we acquired one company, then two companies. I think till today we almost acquired four companies, now five companies. So we already have a customer base, and all this customer requires another way to communicate. And if you have everything with as a part of your offering, I think you have everything. You know.
And what can you share about the future? Like, what's your plan for Route Mobile? When do you see, visibility that yes, Route Mobile can be $1 billion revenue company?
So not far away, like Siddharth, right? We have already achieved $200 million,
Yeah,
right? And from journey from 100 million to $200 million is just 2 or 3 years, 2 years down the line, right? From 200 million to a billion is just 5 times. So I'm not sitting at $10 million and I'm dreaming for a
yes.
billion dollar. I'm sitting on 200 million and I'm dreaming for $1 billion. The way we are working right now, like the way we are integrating our product, the way we are enhancing our product, if you say, like email, we have added RCS capability, WhatsApp, firewall. All this thing has a huge potential, and I think if you talk about Root Mobile, 5 year down the line, probably, or 4 year down the line, I might do $1 billion in 3 years also. Okay, but if you say with current run rate, probably within 4 years down the line, I will have $1 billion revenue, 5 year down the line, because we are talking about the numbers which we have achieved year on year basis, and we have seen the growth. If you multiply that maths, like maybe 4 years or 5 years down the line, we may be $1 billion revenue company.
That's great. And what's your ultimate goal, right? You want to uh, keep on building, keep on adding new products to Route Mobile.
So I think the ultimate goal is to get into new technologies, and being a tech founder, it is very important because I understand technology. First of all, it's not that I need somebody's idea or somebody's view or boardroom meeting with the entire product team. How do you guys see? Because there are so many things which I explore myself. Uh, Ideas on blockchain, ideas on other technologies. So we want to make sure we keep on enhancing our product offering, and we want to make sure that we invest at the right time in the right product, because there may be some product which is too early for the market, but it's better to be ready. Whenever this change happens, you'll be the early adopter, advantage of that. And keeping that in mind, if you see our RCS strategy, or our now email strategy, or Viber, or WhatsApp, I think we are fairly placed in the market right now, and we do see good traction happening. People are adopting new channel of communication, and I will keep on building new products, and I will keep on focusing on technology.
So the journey keeps you very excited, toying with new products, giving it in hands of customers.
Obviously, I'm so bullish. If you see my interviews, also, I love to answer all the tech questions when people ask me. Like, so, I'm in a space which is full of excitement, full of technology, full of new things. Like messaging. When you say SMS, like now we say that we do have SMS is one of our part of our offering. It is not just one offering, right? Even we have a very less revenue coming from the new channel of communication where the adoption itself is a lower. Whenever the adoption ratio goes high, probably we get the advantage of it, right? But it is exciting for a tech founder to understand what is the future going to be, right? Today, you see, IoT is going to be the next big thing. We have people still talking about IoT. People are still build, but how it is going to evolve our daily life, how the people going to communicate with the IoT devices is the next big thing. The blockchain is going to be the next big thing. The data is going to be the next big thing. If the data is a large biggest thing in future, probably blockchain will add value to that. So, so there are so many things still very early stage, and it's better to work on those areas. Like you talk about your robotics. People still struggle to understand how the robotics is going to change. You talk about AI, ML. See, there are so many things to do it. But again, this all can be a part of your communication strategy, right? For me, anything which communicates with other devices is a part of my CPaaS model, or there might be like customer support or experience model. But end of the day, it is a communication channel which is going to be play a bigger role for everyone's life. Like you talk about online purchase. I'm talking about just 10 year back. People used to just like they're just so scared about using their credit card over internet, right? So they always felt that, oh, it may get hacked or somebody may misuse. But you see now, like the amount of Google pay transaction, Amazon pay transaction happening, people are going and buying everything through Amazon or Flipkart. So I think the people adoption mentality has changed, and people believe that the digital is a better way for them to save their time and have a better result.
Thank you so much, Raddeep. It's been a delight to have this conversation with you on the past, uh, to understand your vision of Route Mobile and how you are building for the future. It's been a very
Thanks, sir.
exciting conversation for me and a huge amount of learning.
Thanks, Ed. Thank you very much.